Hello everybody, my name is Suman and I'm here to discuss about data science with R programming. Before I start anything, I wanted to know to whom I'm interacting. You may be a student, you may be pass out student, you may be office professional, you may be teacher, you may be a programmer, you may be a mathematician. One thing is very common, what I am seeing here. You are here to look for your career, or probably being an office professional, you are already working with some organization, but you wanted to re-skilling yourself. You may be a teacher, but you wanted to improve yourself, and that is the reason you are looking at this video. You may be a programmer, you are doing the coding in some other languages like C++ or C Sharp or Java or any other programming language, but you wanted to learn R programming because you wanted to become something else. Okay. So one thing is very common here that I'm able to see that you all are wanted to become the data scientist. So you are at the right place, and I will take you through some presentations by which you will understand the essentials of our programming. So now you find yourself whether you are a student or you have recently graduated and you're looking for the career, or you're an office professional and you wanted to reskill yourself, or you are a teacher and you want to upgrade yourself. You may be a programmer and you wanted to convert your existing coding skills into the R programming. You may be the mathematician, or you wanted to learn the R programming. As I discussed, you are on the right place. I will take you through some presentations, through some videos by which you will learn how to become the data scientist. So the initial stage I'm taking in R programming. So before I move towards the R programming, let us see the job market. After completing this, where you will place and what is the outcome. Okay, you should convince yourself whether you are into the right track, you are into looking the right videos, is it going to beneficial for you or not. So I have started looking some jobs in Google. Then I found in 2018 there was a survey in which I found you will able to see, this is the survey of 2018, that in Washington the salary is 143,000 US dollar. In California, it's 136,000 plus. In Virginia, it is 129,000 plus US dollar. In Texas, it is 125, and in Maryland, it's 129,000 USD. Okay, so this was the survey of 2018. Let us see the survey of 2020. So this is the survey See, in Argentina, it is 720,000 US dollar. So what I want to explain here, see the graph how it has increased. In Australia, if you'll see, it's 116,000 Australian dollar. In Canada, it's $80,394. In China, it's $90,612. In France, it is 43,140 euro. Similarly, if you will see the salary of the data scientist is increasing day by day in every country. So you are at the right place. I will take you through the art program that will make you as a data scientist. So in next 45 minutes, I will take you to the essentials of art programming. Basically, I will be discussing the basic syntax, command prompt, a script file, comments and remarks, data types, variables and constraints, reserved words in R, operators, controls and loops, and sample coding. So this is the basic syntax of R programming. I have been sharing the several videos on R programming. If you are looking the first video, I'll suggest that you go through some previous videos. I will put it in the link that will describe you the basic top 10 reasons why to learn R programming and a step-by-step installation to visualization. So I have already mentioned R programming is a very popular programming language which is broadly used in data analysis. The way R code is defined, it's quite simple. I have already explained in my earlier videos. The first program is the hello world, okay, and that you can create in a very simple way. I will tell you that there are three ways by which you can create your program, or you can run your program, you can execute your program. The number one, you can simply go to the notepad, you can write the program and you can execute it, or you can directly go to the R prompt and you can execute it. Number three, you have R Studio by which you can run it through the R console. One of the easiest method which I'm trying to explain here is after installation of R, that is R console, you will find there will be directory created under the C drive or wherever you have selected during the installation, and you can go to the program files. Inside the program file, you will find there will be a folder created as named R and its version. Suppose you are using R.4, so it will be as R.4.0.0. So go to the command prompt and using just the cd command, you go to that particular folder and R is the executive file. So just write R and enter. It will execute it and you will find R prompt where you can write just a string, and this is the assignment operator. This side, this is the assignment operator, and it is assigned a string, then hello world, print a string. It will directly display on the screen as a hello world. It's quite simple. Next is the R prompt, which I had already discussed. R prompt you can obtain either by just going to the command prompt and using the cd command, you go to that particular location. It's quite simple. Or you can run the R console, or using the R studio, you can go. I am demonstrating here using the DOS prompt. I've already explained the R studio earlier. Next is R script. So R script file is what? On the command prompt on R console, you can write a single line statement and you can execute it. But the script file is a file that contains the R script. It means if you want to execute multiple statements together, at that time you will require to write in a file. So just go to the R studio and in the file menu, just select the new, and inside you select the R script, and you can write the multiple statement and you can save it. The extension will be automatically taken as .r. Okay. So here is an example. You can see the next is comments or remarks. In any programming language, how to write comments or remarks. So comments and remarks is what? It is the non-executable statement. Suppose ideally what is happening in the program file, you write the code which is executed. But if you want to write about the program or the programmer name or the date when it was created or the version of the file in the program itself, it should be embedded in the program, then it should be non-executed. So before that, you can put the hash sign. So if the comments or remark is of single line, then just you can put the hash like this. Actually, I have used here, see, my first program in R programming. So this, and the second statement is string hello world, and the third statement is print string. So what will happen after execution? See, the first line, which is my first program in R program, will not be executed. In other words, I can say it will be executed, but there will not be any output because the hash sign has been used before the statement, before the remark. So this is called comments or remarks. Okay. But if you want to write multi-line remarks, at that time in R, you have to use the trick. Okay. What trick you will use? See, this side I have used multi-line. One line is R is an, then the second line is language, then the developer name, then there is a 4-line remarks. So what I did, I've just used if false. I will be discussing later what is if in future. I mean in later slides in the same video. So now I'll demonstrate data types. How many data types are in R programming? So you can refer here. The data types are logical data type, then numeric data type, then integer data type, complex data type, character data type, and raw data type. Okay. So when I say logical data type, the logical data type is probably true or false, 0 or 1, yes or no. Numeric data type, maybe few examples I have already mentioned here. If you refer, this is 12, 32, 11, 25, 432. All these are the example of numeric data type. The integer data type you can see 3L because it's a long. So that is the reason I have used L. The complex data type, okay, it can store multiple things. That is the reason it is named as the complex data type. The next is the character data type. So character type data type may be a single character or a multiple character. So single character will appear always in a single quotes. However, the multiple characters will appear in the double quotes. And the another is row data type that will store the entire row. I'll discuss in later slides. So few examples I have used here with the codes. You can directly copy paste the code or you can directly write these codes and you can execute in the environment. Okay. The logical data type. What I used in the right side, if you refer, see, this true has been assigned to a V and I'm printing class of B. So class is a function. It will give what is the data type of V. Okay. So see, the output is showing as a logical. I have just executed one example and I'm showing here. Okay, showing logical data. Similarly, I have used several examples. For example, I have assigned 23.5, that is a numeric data type, and print class B. So what will happen? 23.5 is a numeric. Okay, so class B will print numeric. So similarly, integer. So you can check these codes on the environment. The next example I have tried to explain is a complex, the character or row. So these examples can be checked on the environment. The next is the variables. What actually the variables? Variables are used to store the data which value can be changed during the execution of the program. Okay. So, for example, name. Inside a name, there may be a different name. Okay. So, name is a variable and the value which we are assigning inside the name is a value. Okay. So, there are naming conventions when you are putting the variable. Okay. So, I have mentioned here few examples of naming conventions. The first is variable name can be letters, digit, periods, or underscore. Okay, but it must start with a letter or a period. Okay, if it starts with a period, it cannot be followed by a digit. And in the variable, there should not be reserved word of R. For example, I have used few examples here to understand naming of the variable in a better way. See, the first example is variable underscore name 2. Okay, this is a valid example. This is correct variable name because it is started with the letter. Second, numbers has been used, underscores has been used. Okay, no special characters has been used initially. Even the dot has not been used. Okay, so because of this one is valid. But the second is variable name with percent. Okay, so it is invalid. Okay, the reason is that a special character, that is percent, has been used in the variable name, okay, which is an operator in R. So it is invalid. Okay. Now the third is to var underscore name. This is incorrect. This is invalid. The reason is that it has been started with a numeric, so it's an incorrect variable name. Similarly, these are some examples I have tried to explain. Now coming to the constants in R. There are predefined built-in constants in R. Okay, so some actually I have tried to written here. If you see the right side, letters. Okay, this is the predefined built-in constants in R. Okay, just go to the R prompt, type letters. It will give you the output as A to Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, Z to Z. Okay. So similarly, pi. Pi is a built-in constant. Okay. So it cannot be used. Okay. So these are few built-in constants in R. Now, there are reserved words. I have already discussed at the time of putting the name for variable. Variable name cannot be reserved words. These are the table which indicates the reserved word of R. Okay. If, else, repeat, while, function, for, in, next, break, true, false, null, INF. All these are the reserved words. Okay. So it cannot be used as a variable name. Now the next thing is operators. So there are 5 kinds of operator in R. Okay. So arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, assignment operator, and miscellaneous operator. So let us see the different kinds of arithmetic operators. So this is plus, minus, divide. So one by one, we will see the arithmetic operator. So the first is plus. Plus, like in mathematics, we are using what? 2 plus 3 equal to 5. So the same plus minus, suppose we will write 5 minus 2 equal to 3. So the same way in R also it is used. What we can do, we will just assign, suppose A equal to 5 and B equal to 3. Okay. And C equal to A plus B. So, and print the value of C. So it will give 2 plus 3 equal to 5. Okay. Similarly, we are using minus operator. It will give you the minus. So I have used few examples here to see. In fact, I have used the list here. So V, C, 2, 5.5 and 6 has been assigned to V. In fact, V is what? Okay, is a list, okay, that contains 3 values, 2, 5.5, 6. And T again, which is a second. So there is a list of 3 constants, that's 8, 3, and 4. It is S2. So print V plus T. So output will be what? The first element of C, that is 2 in V, and the first element of C in T is 8. So it will add 2 plus 8 equal to 10. And see the output is a 10. The second is 5.5 plus 3 equal to 8.5. And 6 plus 4 equal to 10. So it works as the plus operator. Similarly, in the minus operator, if you see, the first is 2 and the second is 8. So 2 minus 8 minus 6.0. Second 5.5 and here 3. So it is 2.5 and 5.6 and 4. So the output is. Similarly, the multiplication, if you will see, 2 multiplied by 8, result is 60. Okay. So this way, multiplication operators work. Now, the division operator. So division operator, if you see 2 divided by 8 the result is 0.25. 5 divided by 3, the result will be 1.8. So like division operator. The next is percent. So double percent sign gives the remainder. Remainder means, suppose if you divide 5 by 2, remainder will be what? 2 to the 4, remainder 1. So the result will be 1. So this is the job of double percent sign. So these are the arithmetic operator. Then percent divided percent. Okay. The result division of the first factor with the second. And this is the caret sign. The caret sign is used for the exponent of the second factor. So this is the arithmetical operator. The next is relational operator. So relational operator is what? We can say, see, this is greater than sign and the second is less than sign. Okay. You can say this is used as assignment operator. Okay. So there are two assignment operators. One, either from RHS, right hand side, or from LHS, so right hand side. So if you see here, it is LHS, left hand side, means the C, elements of C has been assigned to V. So it is going to towards left side. But here in the print V, E, it is assigned in the right side. Okay. So this is a relational operator. So both way it can be assigned either from left hand side or from right hand side. And the next is double equal to. It takes the equality. So let us say these are the other relational operators. The next is the logical operator. So logical operators are AND, that's ampersand sign, then pipe sign, and the sign of explanation. So ampersand sign is AND. Okay, means it checks the logical value. If the left side of AND and right side of AND both are true, okay, then the value will be true. Okay. The next is pipe sign, which is OR, which is used either left side of pipe sign is true or right side pipe sign is true, then the statement will be executed. And this is a note. So we check the note. The next is assignment operators. So actually I have explained in the relational operators also, but here also it's defined. Okay, assignment operator. So this is the assignment operator. It is worked as a equal to sign. Either you can use LHS form or RHS form. Okay. So the first, this is used as LHS. And second, if you see, this is used as RHS. Okay. So this is assignment operator. It works as an equal to sign. Next, we have miscellaneous operators. So these are the miscellaneous operators. So actually, I have written some examples here. So these examples can be tested in our studio. So quite simple. Now, I wanted to show using a small program, okay, how to take keyboard input in our programming. Okay, so it's simple. Okay, so what I did, if you refer, I've used my name. So my name is what? It is just a variable. Okay. And the readline function. Readline function is used to take keyboard input. So what will happen after executing this first line? You will see that it will take the input, but before that, it will show prompt. Please enter the name. Okay. So this because in the prompt I have mentioned please enter name. Okay. So after execution of this first statement, it will take the keyboard input. Okay. And the second is my dot age. Again, my dot age is a variable. Okay. And readline function is used. So readline function is used to take the input from keyboard. Okay. And prompt will appear as a please enter the age. Okay. The third line is what? It is the remark. So that will convert character into the integer. Okay. So see the fourth line. My age, and it is assigning as integer my age, because what is happening by default when we take input from keyboard, it takes character value. Okay. So as integer converts to the integer function. Sorry, integer value. Right. So my age is defined as integer. Now it will print hello, my name, and next year you will be age will be added +1 and year old means after entering, suppose I have executed, if you see the bottom part, like what I have used, here you can see the name is Mary, I have entered, age is 70, and the output will be hi Mary, next year you will be 18-year old. Our next thing is controls and loops. So like any other programming language, we have controls and loop in our programming also. So the first is if else, then while, then break and next, repeat, loop. So these are the controls and loops. I'll take some example. This is the if statement and this is the flowchart. If you see the flowchart, this flowchart says if has one condition. So if this condition will fulfill, then do this task. For example, if I will get up early morning, 8 a.m., then I'll start for the office. But if I'll get up late, I'll work from home. So the condition is that depending on the time on which I'll get up. So this flowchart shows if condition matches, then true, else false. Okay. So I have tried to show one example here. So if you see the x, in the x, I have defined 5 and I'm checking if x is greater than 0, then print positive number. So x is defined as 5. Yes, of course, x is greater than 0. So the condition matches. So the output will be positive number. So see the output is positive number. Next, so if statement. If you see the flowchart, this flowchart says if the condition is matching now, then again it's true. The block will execute. If condition does not match, then false. See this example. Okay. So I have defined x, 30 I have defined. I mean initialize in x and 45 in y. Now the condition is checking if x is less than y. Yes, x is less than y. So what will happen? It will display, I have used the cat function. So in fact, cat function is used to concatenate the two different things. So here it is concatenating the value of x, and there is a string is a smaller number. So concatenating and cont equal to 1. And the second, its block is successfully executed. So what will happen? The condition is matching. So the value will be the first one. Okay. That's 30 is a smaller number. Okay. And count 1 will be executed. The next example I have taken to understand how to check even or odd. Okay. So if you see the code block, in the code block I have used x contains 24. This is 24. And as I have discussed, double percent gets the, remainder. So 24 divided by 2, so remainder will be 0. So the first line will be executed. So the next is if else. Now in the if else, there will be condition like that. If the condition will match, then first value will be executed. Else, next value will be executed. Okay. So this example is taking then 2011 is initialized in year 1. So this program is going to check whether 2011 is a leap year or not. Okay. So what I'm going to do, the year I'm dividing by 4 and getting the remainder. Okay. So of course 2011 remainder will not be 0. So this code will not execute it. Okay. And by default it will not be the leap year. So the another is if else later. So I have tried to explain the see test expression 1, else if expression 2. Here there will be multiple conditions assigned in if and else if, and the last one is else. If any one condition defined in if or else if fulfill the criteria, then that particular code block will execute, else the last code block will be executed. I'm taking just one example based on the if. Okay. So I have assigned 0 in x. Now it is taking if x is less than 0, then print negative number. Okay. So x is, and else if x is greater than 0, then print positive number, else print 0. Now next code block is checking the factorial of a number. Okay. So factorial of a number is what? The factorial of a number is the product of all integer from 1 to that number. For example, the factorial of 6, okay, denotes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So multiplication will be 720. So this code block is used to determine the factorial of a number. Okay. So the another code block I have tried to explain here is how to check the prime number. Okay. You can go through all these code blocks. I'll save these code blocks and you can run through. You'll understand. See, I'm just programmed to check if the input number is prime or not. This is for the program. So this is just a remark. The next line is what? So taking the input. So just take the input. So the input from the user. Okay. Now I'm taking as integer. So that's the reason num equal to as integer, we learn prompt equal to enter a number. Okay. So it will prompt to enter a number. Okay. And it will convert to the integer. Okay. Now I've taken one flag and defined value as 0. Now it is checking if num, it means the user number has entered greater than 1, then check for the factors. Okay. Okay. Else check for the next code block. Okay. And this way it will check whether it's prime number or not prime. So this is the code block I have used to check Armstrong number. Okay. So Armstrong number is what? Armstrong number is a number that's equal to the sum of the cube of its own digit. For example, I have used here, if you see 370. So there are 3 digits here, 3, 7 and 0. So the cube of 3, 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7, and 0 multiplied by 0 multiplied by 0. And we are adding all together. So the result will be the same. Okay. So this code block is working for taking the Armstrong number. Okay. The next is syntax for the for loop. Okay. So quite simple. Okay. So this is the flowchart of the for. Okay. So what I did, I have initialized a list containing the value as 2, 5, 3, 9, 8, 11, and 6. The x. Okay. In fact, x is vector here. And just I have initialized 0 inside the count. Okay. Now I'm checking for while in x. Okay. What will happen? Till the time this condition will fulfill, the code block written inside the for will execute it. Okay. So the first time the value in x. Okay. So first time the value will be 2. Okay. So if value and double person which gets the remainder. Okay. So equal to 2, then count equal to count plus 1. So it's a counter. It will add 1 by 1 and print count. Okay. So the first time the value will be 2. So it is adding 2 plus 1 equal to 3. So see the output. This output is showing 3. So this is the for. So this is the code block I have written for to generate the multiplication table. Okay. So it's quite simple. These are the first 2 lines which is used for the remark. Okay. So the third line, this is the third line, which is indicating, this is the third line, which indicates the user will enter the number for which he or she wants the multiplication table. Then, because the multiplication table starts from 1 to 10, so for I in 1 is to 10, so 1 to 10 is the 1 is the first value and 10 is the last value. Okay, and print, it will print num x what? See the output. 7 1 7 1 is 7, 7 to the 40, 7 to the 21, and like that it will print up to 70. And this is the syntax of while loop. It's like a for loop, but here the while contains itself the condition. This is one example of while loop. Okay. So 1 is initialized in x and 24 is initialized in y. The counter has been initialized by 0. Now while x is less than y. Okay. So yes, x is less than y because the x value is 1 and the y value is 24. Okay. So this cat function, x is a smaller number. Okay. So yes, it will show 1 is a smaller number. Okay. So this is the code block used to find the sum of natural numbers. Okay. So let's see here. It will take the input from the user. Okay. The second line is checking if the entered number is less than 0, print positive number, else sum equal to 0, and while num is greater than 0. Okay. So this code block will execute sum equal to sum plus number. Okay. So number entered by and num equal to num plus 1. So finally, it will print the sum of the natural numbers. The next is syntax for repeat loop. Okay. So repeat also works like a while, right? But what is happening? While itself contains the condition, however, repeat works based on some if condition mentioned inside the loop. If you see the condition, this repeat, it will repeat till inside the if fulfills the criteria. For example, I have defined x equal to 1. Okay. Then repeat. So it is entered inside the loop. Now it will print x. The first value is 1. So it will print 1. Right. The next x equal to x plus 1. So now the x new value of x will be 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Now it is checking if x equal to x 6. No, the current value is 2. Okay. So it will again execute. Okay, and it will print. Next time it will print 2. Now the x value will 2 plus 1. So 3. So it will print 3. Again it is checking if x equal to 6. No. So it will execute till it reaches to x. 6. As soon as it is reaches to 6, it will break. And it will come out of the loop. So this is the summary of this entire video. What we learned here, the basic syntax are prompt, a script file, comments, remarks, data types, variable and constant, reserved words, operators, controls and loops, and sample coding. So this is the time I recommend you to please subscribe the channel so that in future if I upload any video, you will directly get it. Please like, share,